Dean, curious, in the early part of training camp when you were making evaluations on players, clean slate, of course, what you saw in Kent Johnson that suggested he should be a penalty killer for you?
Let's see. Instincts, hockey sense, skating ability, commitment to do all the right things from that first penalty kill. And I know since that, as I said, I didn't ask the assistant coaches to tell me anything. I just put them in the positions. Everybody killed penalties at the start of preseason, as you guys saw. Then we evaluated, we watched video, and we made a decision who's going to kill penalties for us. So, but there's absolutely no reason why he shouldn't kill penalties with all of the assets that he has as a hockey player.
Would you be surprised that he barely did that at Michigan and had like a grand total of 18 seconds on the PK in the NHL, which suggests he just came out maybe at the end of a PK for the next? Like it just hasn't been part of his makeup. Are you surprised how well he's grabbed it?
I'm not surprised because I don't know what happened before, right? And I honestly I don't care. Like, it's just we made a decision as a coaching staff that we felt that he could kill penalties, and he's embraced it, loves it. I mean, you ask any player if they want more ice time, they're not going to say no. I don't care what situation it is. So yeah, I mean, when we said clean slate at the start of the year, that's legit. I mean, it was a clean slate for everybody, and everybody's earned their ice time. He's earned the opportunity to play more in all kinds of situations.
Dean, obviously these are professionals. They play this game and know how to turn it on whenever they need to. But tonight, obviously, there's going to be a huge emotion shift. How do you help your guys get refocused for the hockey game? And do you want them to maybe use some of that emotion in this game tonight?
Yeah. No, you said it perfect. We do want them to use the emotion and embrace that emotion. And if it's, you're feeling sad or anything, just use that and turn it into a positive emotion moving forward. And we've talked from day one again about how and what Johnny would want to do and how he would act and what he would say, and continue to do that. That's what we're doing. And so 100% use that emotion, but don't be afraid of it. If you feel like you've got to talk to somebody or not talk to somebody, or you feel like you got to let loose and you got to cry or you got to yell or scream or get mad, go ahead and then turn that into energy in the right direction for our hockey club.
Hey, Dean, Nick Kotzeninka from NHL.com. I'm writing for people who maybe haven't followed this day to day, and I'm just kind of wondering, where's this team at in the grieving process, and what's been the important points along the way here for your team?
Everybody's different, right? Everybody's not grieving at the same pace, and everybody's not, doing, and we've, invited them to, it's your own time, your own, how you deal with it is we've offered help if people want it in any manner that they want it, absolutely. But everybody's different, right? To be honest with you, I mean, we're not walking around or, talking constantly. And I think what the biggest thing that they're doing as a group in there is they're sticking together. We've encouraged that they talk as much as possible about stories and what have you. And, you've seen our post-game award or whatever you're calling it, and that's all Johnny, and that's all. So his presence is in there constantly. And so I think the biggest factor is they're sticking together as a team.
Hey, Dean, I guess along those lines, you come in here, a new situation, and then tragedy strikes, and I guess you learn a lot about your team in a short period of time. What's jumped out at you?
That when I first took the job, then you talk to people, it's like, oh, we got to change the culture in Columbus. We've got to change this. This team was not fractured. They were The minute I met Johnny and then I come in and meet Boone and Goody and Z and the leaders and Curls, the leaders on our team, it's like they are tight, like they are a close group. They just needed some positive stuff going on here and some positive, and it didn't seem like it starts like that, but they're a close-knit group that we've come in as a coaching staff, and we've just tried to enhance that, tried to give them, a little structure, obviously, that every coach wants to do as far as systematically, and then just continually reinforce that it's a team-first mentality. But from Boone on down, this group is team first right from day one.
This isn't your normal home opener, obviously, but Paul Maurice yesterday said that the Panthers are going to give you guys anything you need. How much have you talked to them? And them
Anything we need?
Anything you need. That's what he said.
Well, I'm going to ask him for something.
A couple points. Yeah. How have you guys dealt with Florida as far as being part of this as well?
I think you can take it further than that, not just Florida. I think you can take the National Hockey League. You can take the city of Columbus, the state of Ohio, and the entire world, to be honest with you, that have been with Johnny and his family through all of this. And we've felt that support from the teams, every team that we go to. You get somebody coming over and people talking to you about we are with you and whatever you need and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, everybody's absolutely been fantastic.
On the hockey side, wanted to ask about the line with Cole and Kent and Tuna, I guess everyone's calling him. You had them matched up against a team with the McKinnon line a lot the other night. I think the average age of those guys is 21 years old. Just what led you to make that decision? How do you think they were able to fare in that type of situation?
Does it matter how old you are in the National Hockey League, or no?
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know. I don't know how old they are. I know they're really good hockey players. I know they're a really good line. I know they're all really responsible, and I know they were so committed to and it wasn't we didn't give them the assignment. We didn't start the game, go, okay, we're going to have Silly's line play against McKinnon's line. But you're right, at the end, that's exactly what we were hoping to have happen and tried to make happen. But they're all responsible players that play the game the right way, hard. But we had other groups that played there too. Ideally, we want to have 4 lines that can play in all areas and play against every line. We're not a team that's going to pop teams or lines off the ice or D pairs off the ice, but we do have, every team has their thought process on matchups, and if we can get that matchup, great. If we can't, then someone else and whoever's on the ice has to get the job done against special players like Nate McKinnon. So a lot of different players, and everybody has to be committed to get the job done on special players like that.
Any lineup changes for tonight?
Yep.
Would you like to tell us, or would you like to keep that to yourself?
Yeah, well, Harris is going in for Jack Johnson tonight, and not anything that JJ did. We just we don't want, I say we don't want players. I'm not going to be saying every player is going to get in, and we'd have no time frame for a guy can only sit out 2 games or whatever. It's going to be, dictated on what we've talked about right from the start, and it's earned. But yeah, we're flipping him out tonight for Harris, and that's the only change. And the goalie.
See, Guy Gaudreau on the ice again today. I'm just wondering, behind the scenes, how much time have you spent with him or the family? Do you talk about his sons? Do you talk about anything else, like just talk hockey? No. Talk about everything. He's telling stories this morning and after practice, before practice, about Johnny and Matthew, and yeah, it's wonderful, right? Hopefully that it helps in his healing process too, to be out there and skating around. And he's a bloody rink rat. Like, he's so excited again this morning to get on the ice, and I'm a little worried he might not leave, to be honest with you. We might have to talk to Don. Well, yeah, that's Don's call.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It really is. It's fantastic, and hopefully it's good for Guy. But I know it's good for our group. I know it's good for our coaching staff to have him in there and talking, and I know it's great for the players as well.